Literally not a cloud out here except right over our destination airport in the middle of nowhere. Thunderstorm.
I mean, are we gonna make it in?
I honestly am not sure.
Really?
Our backup is to go to the Terlingua Ranch, which is a dirt runway up here. That's hail. Absolutely beautiful drive out here on FM 170 with Mexico immediately on the left, mountains, lush greenery, lots of mesquite and everything.
To go across the border and just hang out, show us around their town and everything, and it was really awesome to see that side of the culture and see the difference between the Texas side and the Mexico side.
Levantamos nuestro clamor a ti para que concedas a nuestros campos y ciudades la lluvia necesaria.
And this is, I just can't get over how gorgeous this is. The sky is about to light up, and this house is so picturesque.
It wasn't just like a cookie cutter Airbnb. It had so much flair, and I hope that we come back very soon.
Oh, watch this bird, watch this bird. Oh,
Let's go back around and land. Watch these birds.
Skyhawk 80991, good afternoon, left tower, number 2, following the Challenger in a 1 mile final, flash away turbulence, clear to land, 13 left, wind 090 at 6.
Copy the wind, clear to land, 13 left, number 2, we have the Challenger inside, not another one. I'm Josh, a flight instructor and a filmmaker with a passion for the sky, sharing it with those around me and using it to see our world from a new perspective. Flying can seem super complex, and I've made it my mission to showcase safe practices while sharing the beauty we behold on these adventures. This is Aviation 101.
0991, Addison Ground, clear to Hotel Yankee India Airport via on departure fly runway heading 66, radar vector.
Thanks for the ride. We'll see you later.
All right.
We'll keep you posted.
We're gonna do a lot of flying over the next few days. So we're in San Marcos now, and we are headed to Big Bend. The last time we were in Big Bend was for my birthday a little over a year ago.
I really love the Big Bend area of Texas because I don't know, I love the desert. It's like straight out of a John Wayne Western, and you're just down on the Rio Grande, right on the border of Mexico and everything. It's just a beautiful area. It is late May, almost June now. So I'm hoping we're not gonna regret our decision in terms of the heat. It is getting up to about 100 out there each day, like high of 97, 98. But the difference is, it is about 80% humidity here, and it's about 20% humidity out in Big Bend.
It's hazy. It looks like it's gonna be an IFR day. I am seeing blue kind of come in and out overhead, so this layer seems pretty thin.
We do have about 800 or 900 overcast right now in San Marcos. So that's a pretty perfect day. That's above my personal minimums. There's no low IFR around here, which is perfect for filing IFR, which is exactly what we're gonna do in 80991 today. Chelsea's gonna fly left seat. We haven't ironed out who's doing radios. We try to split up the duties, and somebody does radios and checklist, and the other person focuses on navigating and flying the airplane. We do not have a vehicle here because my dad dropped us off. So, bicycles to the FBO for one last bathroom break. In our ride over to the ramp, here's the 152. I did my private pilot check ride in, and first solo cross country, and this is the first airplane I ever flew upside down. A 152 Aerobat, 4951 Alpha. It's pretty wild where this content journey has taken me over the years. From training in that little Cessna 152, filming stuff with an action camera strapped to my head in 2010, to Chelsea and I producing travel films in little airplanes full time. I'm living the life my younger self used to dream about. And in the busy pursuit of your big dreams, don't lose touch of where you came from and what you've gone through to get to where you are today. That retrospect is a healthy reminder to keep pushing and keep growing. mission for today is to get to the Lajitas airport. We're gonna pick up a Jeep, courtesy of Big Ben Jeep, the rental company out there, and we're gonna actually go to the ranch that is owned by the same people called Rio Bravo Ranch. We're gonna drive down, I believe it's Texas State Highway 170. In Texas, we call them farm to market roads, FM 170. So we're gonna drive down that road, beautiful snakes through the canyons, right along the Rio Grande, and supposedly we will see the Rio Bravo Ranch gate on the right at some point. San Marcos looks like it is 600 overcast, visibility 4 with mist. So we're gonna have some IFR stuff. But coming all the way out to Lajitas, visibility 10, sky clear. The temperature right now is 30 Celsius. So it's already getting up there, starting to get kind of warm. So I'm gonna hit edit flight plan, Hotel Yankee India to Marathon, and then to Lajitas. That just kind of keeps us from crossing the Rio Grande. Keeps us in radar contact longer too. So I'm gonna go to performance. We are set for 105 knots, which is conservatively slightly low. We'll be going probably closer to 110 true. 8 gallons an hour. We should be burning less than that. So I always lean on the conservative side of things. 8:45, let's call it 9:15, which is in 30 minutes. You can pick up an IFR clearance depending on the ATC facility. Pick up an IFR clearance up to 30 minutes before your departure time and up to 2 hours after your departure time. And after 2 hours, if you didn't pick up the clearance, it just disappears.
San Marcos ground, Skyhawk, November 80991, IFR to Lajitas.
Hey, Skyhawk 991, there's clearances on request. Are you ready to taxi?
Ready to taxi, 991. We have information, whiskey.
Roger, the X-rays non-clearance mark Tennessee altimeter is 3000, runway 17 taxi via Alpha Bravo, cross runway 8, Charlie, Juliet, hold short runway 13.
All right, we'll get X-ray taxi to 17 via Alpha Bravo, cross runway 8, Charlie, Juliet, hold short of runway 13, 80991.
This taxiway looks good.
Yeah, they just finished this.
Finally, not freaking gravel chips to eat up your propeller.
And potholes everywhere.
Skyhawk 991 clearance.
We'll be ready here in just a couple minutes, 991.
All right, just advise, Josh.
Okay.
We can save 3 minutes if we go up to 10,000 feet, but it's gonna take us longer to climb up there. We're gonna burn more fuel. What do you think? You want 8,000 or 10,000? 8,000? All right, so we'll just stick with 8,000. 3 hours and 15 minutes. We're gonna have about 5 hours of fuel on board. All right, so from here, we're gonna create the trip. Got a little check mark next to the suitcase. That means the phone already has all the NOTAMs and everything downloaded. Cool thing about Garmin Pilot is it'll let you know if it thinks you're gonna need an alternate because it's looking at the forecasts. That makes sense, right? It's an app that looks at weather forecasts and flight planning. It does not have a little yellow triangle next to alternate destination, which means it does not think that we are required to file an alternate. And I agree. I'm gonna drop down actions and hit file. So I'm waiting. This can sometimes take a minute if you have no cell signal or no internet. All right, we are filed. So at this point, I would hit the briefing tab. It's gonna retrieve a briefing. This is kind of like calling 1-800-WX-BRIEF and having a weather briefer read all of this information to you. But welcome to the 21st century. We have devices for this. And in this day and age too, with modern technology and tracking stuff, and especially with accident investigations with the FAA and NTSB, they can tell whether you pulled an FAA weather briefing from Leidos Flight Service. If you didn't pull a weather briefing, is that illegal? No, but you'll get the book thrown at you. If anything bad happens or you bust a TFR or there was a NOTAM you didn't know about and it causes some sort of an issue or anything like that, the FAA is watching and they know if you did not pull a weather briefing for a particular flight. It also just keeps you and your passengers safe. Pull a weather briefing, read through all the information, make yourself aware of all the forecasts, TFRs, NOTAMs. Everything in this weather briefing is pertinent and important. And with these modern devices, it parses this information down to only what is important for you. So super easy in these electronic flight bags here in Garmin Pilot. Just hit retrieve briefing before or after you file, or even if you're not filing, going on a VFR cross country or just a local trip, you can still retrieve a briefing for the flight plan that you have in the flight plan here on Garmin Pilot.
Talk 80991, you're cleared to the Tango 89 airport. Radar vectors, Amuse, Junction, Marathon, that's Mike, Romeo, Tango, Hotel, November, direct. On departure left turn heading 080, climb maintain 3000. Expect 8,000 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 119.0, squawk 2406.
Clear to the Tango 89 airport via radar vectors to Amuse, Junction, Marathon, intersection, then direct on departure, turn left heading 080, climb and maintain 3000, expect 8000, 10 minutes after departure, departure frequency 119.0, squawks 2406, 80991.
Squawk 991, readback is correct.
Thanks, Andre. All right, run up checklist, brake set and hold.
Bottom.
Fuel selector on both.
Confirmed.
Trim set for takeoff.
Regardless of how many hours you have in your plane and how familiar you are with its operating procedures, use the checklist every single time. Time and time again, aviation incidents and accidents reinforce how vulnerable we are to forgetting items or procedures we do all the time, especially when we're under pressure. If you don't have the time to pause and verify everything with the checklist, then you have no business embarking on that flight. Stay proficient and stay disciplined. We completed the run-up and pre-takeoff checklist, stopped at the hold line, and called tower for departure.
San Marcos Tower, Skyhawk 80991 is holding short of 17 at Juliet, ready for IFR departure.
Squawk 991, runway 17, clear for takeoff. On departure, left turn heading 080.
Left turn 080, runway 17, clear for takeoff, 80991.
Fixtures full. Mags are both. Fuel is both. Final is clear. Alright, takeoff power is set. We are making rated. Everything is still in the green. There's 50. I'm going to give the nose a little bit. Wait till it wants to fly. We're off at the 1,000 footers. Lower the nose a little bit, build the airspeed. Our abort point is still well ahead of us. Pitching for VY.
Good morning, Austin. Skyhawk 80991 just off San Marcos, 1,400, climbing 3,000.
Skyhawk 80991 off departure, radar contact. Turn left heading 350, climb and maintain 8,000.
Left to 350 up to 8,000, 80991.
Southwest 5775, contact approach 125.32, good day. Skyhawk 991, clear direct Amuse.
Direct Amuse, 80991. Alright. We're going to hit direct. Amuse is the next waypoint, so now we're following the magenta.
Austin first, good morning, medevac 489 Alpha Mike, information Alpha level 1000, waiting for 18 left.
Beach 49 Alpha Mike, Austin approach, thank you. Bravo should be out momentarily, and you can play running 18 left.
18 left, medevac 489 Alpha Mike, thank you.
It's about 3 hours and 15 minutes from San Marcos to Lajitas in the Cessna 172, which definitely does beat the 8-hour drive. And on our climb to 8,000 feet, we found ourselves entirely above the cloud layer by 3,000. And of course, the views never disappoint up here. Not far west of Austin, we were greeted with the typical western horizon, clear skies as far as we can see. And my favorite part about flying this route comes when the hill country meets the dry desert, as if we're flying over a giant topographical map spread across West Texas.
November 50 Victor Sierra, vectors first climb, turn 15 degrees to the right.
I asked you if you needed more coffee from the FBO.
I just wanted a little sip.
2 hours and 30 minutes out. Up ahead of us by about 20 minutes is Sonora. I was kind of thinking that would be a good place to stop for gas if we had to, but it's saying 8.5, 9 gallons remaining when we get there. If it says we're going to have a 10-knot tailwind, that actually means we're going to have a 10-knot headwind.
Center, welcome. Understand you're looking for higher.
It says we're going to have a 10-knot headwind, that actually means we're going to have a 20-knot headwind.
Number
But it's shiny.
80991, contact San Ann, correction, Albuquerque Center 125, correction 13587, 13587, sir.
13587, 80991, get 8. Afternoon, Albuquerque Center, Skyhawk, November 80991, 8,000, direct destination.
Skyhawk 80991, sensor roger, we hit altimeter 2996.
2996, 80991, and you're coming in pretty weak here. Do you think that's going to get stronger as we proceed?
November 80991, negative, my RCAG is base at a port stock, then you're going to be getting further away as you get close to Lajitas.
Roger, 80991. In that case, we're in great weather out here. Just so we don't miss a call, we'll go ahead and cancel IFR.
November 80991, Roger, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR for exchange, please, good day.
All right, squawk VFR over to advisory, 80991, good day. Okay, we're in great weather. No more clouds between us and Lajitas. So that I don't see a point to like sit there and worry about if we're going to miss a radio call from them, then a jet has to relay, and so.
We're sitting there with a squelch.
Yeah, it's make it easier on everybody, and we'll just go ahead and cancel. We are on our own.
It's a VFR squawk and radio silence from here on out. We're dipping south into the Big Bend region of West Texas. And if you're not flying up high, air traffic control is going to lose you on both radar and radio contact. Pretty soon, we're going to start our final descent into Lajitas, and it sits right between Big Bend National Park and Big Bend Ranch State Park. The last time we flew out here, Chelsea and I stayed right by the airport at Summit Big Bend, and we explored the national park during our stay. On this trip, we're going the other way, staying at Rio Bravo Ranch near Presidio. And we plan to explore the state park in the next few days. The terrain gets more rugged as you fly deeper into Big Bend, but luckily the weather is clear and smooth, at least as far as we can see.
That cell's developing right by Lajitas. Nice. Literally not a cloud out here, except right over our destination airport, in the middle of nowhere, thunderstorm.
I mean, are we going to make it in?
I honestly am not sure.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh.
Our backup is to go to the Terlingua Ranch, which is a dirt runway up here. I mean, realistically, if it does hit the fan,
I'll probably go ahead and do the visual, but
turn and go to Presidio,
on that GPS Alpha,
which is like a county airport.
Lajitas International Airport, automated weather observation 1830, Zulu. Wind variable at 3 knots. Peak gust 10 knots. Visibility 8. Sky condition few at 5,500. Few
there it
at
goes.
6,500. Scattered at 8,000. Temperature 3.5 Celsius. Dew point 1.5 Celsius. Altimeter 2.992 inches of mercury. Remarks. Density altitude 5,800.
Alright, he said it's coming down 7, so we'll just play it by ear and be careful when we're doing the left traffic pattern. Alright, seat tracks and backs upright and locked. You're fastened, shoulder harnesses and everything?
Yeah.
Fuel selector on both. You got carpet out. We got the weather altimeter set. Instruments calibrated and cross-checked. Altitude target is set to pattern altitude. Barrel minimums, we don't need them, and mixture enrichment as required. Descent checklist complete. Lajitas traffic, Skyhawk, November 80991, Cessna 172, 10 miles to the northeast of the field. We're going to be inbound set up for the 45-degree left entry to the downwind, runway 7, full stop, Lajitas. But here's my concern about coming into 7. That means we're going to have our back to the storm, and if it decides to throw a microburst out, it's going to yank the wind out from under us. So I would almost take a little bit of a tailwind on landing on this long runway, especially to land toward the storm. So if it gives us some gusts coming off this cell right here, it's going to be coming in our face. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, let's get a feel for it. Like once we're a little closer. Either way, we're entering from this side, whether we go right or left.
Yeah.
Because it's right pattern for 2-5.
So yeah, we could just enter a right base.
Because that's walking this way, right?
It's kind of wobbling in one spot, but like I'm seeing the Virga coming out of it, and there's potential for downdrafts coming out of that, and then eventually possibly a microburst. These storms can change really fast. Landing 2-5, I think, would be my choice.
Okay.
Lajitas International Airport, automated weather observation 1835 Zulu. Wind 060 at 7 knots. Visibility 8. Sky condition.
You'll have about a 7-knot tailwind. You just fly your indicated airspeeds and you'll be good. Lajitas traffic, Skyhawk 80991 is approximately 3 miles to the northeast of the field. We're going to set up for right traffic, a right base entry to runway 25 will be a full stop 25 landing towards the thunderstorm. Lajitas. All right, I'm going to back you up on your checklist. Brakes pedal test. Got your lights, minimums, autopilot's off. Mixture is set. Repeat. The selector and flaps when you're in the wide arc. Your landing checklist complete. Lajitas traffic, Skyhawk 80991 is turning final runway 25, full stop, Lajitas.
500.
And it's now started heavy.
Looking great. On the mains.
I could tell we were going fast, but it felt okay.
Good job. Good
Thank
landing. Smell that rain. This brings a song to mind. Like a West Texas rain.
Whoa, welcome back.
Welcome back. A little bit different this time. I'm very glad we landed with that to our face.
I am too, and I think it helped with the situational awareness of tracking that, and then if we had to do a go around, where that was gonna be.
Yeah, just the whole prospect of a potential microburst scares the crap out of me. Yeah.
80991, we're going to use second entrance ramp, second entrance.
Second entrance, got it. Here comes some more rain. I can really feel it on my hand.
We got in perfect timing.
Yeah, in the nick of time, man. Jeez. Got the Jeep running for us and everything. He's bringing us all the way in. Red carpet service.
Oh.
I have a lot to say about that approach to landing in regard to landing around weather, and despite the wind pretty much even still favoring runway 7, we opted to land runway 25 because that would be toward the storm, and that storm was developing. It was entering the mature phase, and it was becoming apparent that it could throw a microburst at the ground really at any time. We could see the downdrafts in the rain bands and in the Virga. That's hail. That is hail. Yeah. And if it was not golf ball size before, that was every bit of golf ball size hail. Hitting the asphalt and shattering. Little pellets coming all into the hangar. I mean, some of the broken pieces of the hail in the hangar here are almost golf ball sized. We could not have gotten more lucky with our timing coming in here. And Gary here said it has not rained in 4 months. I guess we brought it with us, but dang. Transportation, ground transportation from Big Ben Jeep over here. This time it is the Jeep Gladiator, not the Wrangler. I personally have never driven a Gladiator before, so I'm looking forward to that. And we're gonna head out to Rio Bravo Ranch this time. So right across the highway here from the Lajitas Airport is Summit Big Ben. That's where Chelsea and I stayed in February of 2023, I think for about 3 full days. We explored the national park, did some drives and hikes and everything. Staying at Summit Big Ben, which is an absolutely amazing experience. You gotta check that place out right across the highway here. And we were driving a Jeep from Big Ben Jeep, and we're gonna go to Rio Bravo Ranch, which is owned by the same folks who own Big Ben Jeep. So it's gonna be a pretty drive. If the weather clears up, which it actually should give us some pretty dramatic lighting and shadows and everything. We're gonna drive down FM 170, I believe it is, and that leads us to Presidio, but it's a state highway that snakes through the canyon, right alongside the Rio Grande, kind of toward Big Ben State Park. And on the right, on the Texas side, as we're driving down that highway, we're gonna see Rio Bravo Ranch. So now we need to unpack the plane, de-rig cameras, all that kind of stuff, and start making our way out of here as we pack up the Jeep. Probably gonna have to put a lot of stuff in the cab of the Jeep. The rain opened to an absolute downpour again. So we took our time unloading the Skyhawk and packed everything to stay dry in the Jeep. And the next order of business is to find something to eat. We wound up at a place called Venga in the old ghost town of Terlingua. 4 out of 5 stars with good reviews, and Texas through and through. I'm in.
I'm glad we came here. This place, I did not notice it at all the last time we were here in Big Bend area. And the outside is so cute, and it's got a very Western flair, and the inside is even cooler, I think, and there's AC, so that's nice. But the menu looked great. It seems like there's some people here that are studying and working on their computers. There's like all types of little nook areas to sit and kick back and enjoy the AC, probably between hikes when you're hiding out in the heat of the day. I would hide out here for a while if I had a good book. But just a really, really cool ambiance, and I bet the food's gonna be good because it smells good as soon as we walked in.
At this point, the same thunderstorm that almost stopped us from coming in is still alive and well, but it's moved on to the national park. And we're ready to hit the road the other direction, through Lajitas and along the Rio Grande to the Rio Bravo Ranch.
Yeah, this is where we stopped the last time we were here and got some incredible drone footage right at sunset. It was on my birthday. We watched the sun go down, and then we went and had a really good dinner. So it's nice to be back.
Thermometer here actually says it's 107 degrees outside. It doesn't feel that bad to me, but it's also very low humidity out here, and it's actually pretty pleasant. It's not as brutal in the heat of late May in West Texas as I thought it would be. But it does feel like we have the place to ourselves because this is getting into the off season. Everything's slowing down. Not too many people are coming to Big Bend and whatnot. It's gonna be a nice, pleasant evening. We're both actually pretty full from our lunches, and it was a very artsy place, almost a place that I would expect to see in Austin, but it was just out there in Terlingua. We're probably about 5 minutes from pulling into the ranch, and we'll be checking out our accommodations at Rio Bravo, and then might go into Presidio for dinner if we're feeling hungry in a little while. Which is about 10 miles away. Absolutely beautiful drive out here on FM 170 with Mexico immediately on the left, mountains, lush greenery, lots of mesquite and everything. It's beautiful. The only thing I can hear out here is the very gentle breeze through the mesquite trees and the grass lining the banks of the Rio Grande, birds chirping, and the occasional bug or fly goes by my ear, and the very faint stomping or walking of the hooves of the surrounding cattle and horses in the sands of the banks of the Rio Grande. Right here, that is the Rio Grande, and just across it is Mexico. About 8 miles that way is the town of Presidio, Texas. We landed in Lajitas, which is about an hour that way. Now, the reason we landed in Lajitas, as opposed to Presidio, which is just right here, is because last time when we were in this area, which is February of 2023, Chelsea and I drove in one of the Big Bend Jeeps up FM 170 to Presidio and back, and we fell in love with the views on that drive. And here we are, a little over a year later, coming back, landing at Lajitas, hopping in one of the Big Bend Jeeps, but instead of hopping right across the highway to summit Big Bend and staying in one of the desert domes, we are actually coming to the place that is owned by the same family who owns Big Bend Jeep. And we found out about this place through them. This is called the Rio Bravo Ranch. And I've got to say, I did not expect it to be this absolutely beautiful. And this is a super nice getaway for Chelsea and I to just take a breath. The last few days here in Texas have just been go, 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 and we just moved a couple of months ago. We're still dealing with all of that. I am dealing with all the video editing, and the throughput is at the point where I alone cannot keep up with it, so I'm trying to figure out how to get help. And anyways, all of that combined has put us in a situation where the last few months have just been go, 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 go. I don't know what it is about the desert that is so attractive to me. Maybe it's because, especially here in the Big Bend region of West Texas, everything is so lush. You have mesquite everywhere, you have tall grass, you have a lot of different species of cacti and wild grass all over the place. And especially in the spring, we're a little bit late to see the prickly pear blooms and everything that are just beautiful, vibrant purple and everything, but everything is very lush and green. The Rio Grande is flowing. It's very wild, it's very rugged, it's very, very beautiful, but it's full of life. And I'm very fascinated with the way that that life finds a way. And on top of that, it's my home state of Texas. It's very deeply entrenched in my blood. I love, love, love my home state of Texas. And the part of it that I love the absolute most is what you're looking at right here. Really nice morning to just sit around the little fire pit area with all the Adirondack chairs and stuff. Chelsea sat out there for a lot longer than I did, but just nice to get some sun, feel the warm breeze in the early morning and everything.
All the birds. There's a lot of life here, which is so we lived in the desert in Kingman, Arizona for 6-ish months, maybe a little longer, and there was such a lack of wildlife that it was almost eerie. But here, there are so many birds and lizards, and we even saw a tailless whip scorpion. Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, a tailless whip scorpion. I just saw something run across the floor. It was real small, about that big. I was like kneeling down, putting stuff in the camera case, and I was like, what the heck was that? I counted the legs. There's 8 legs, so I'm like, okay, that's not an insect. And so I took a picture of it with the Google AI thing. It could either be this spider or this scorpion, and I clicked on both of them, and it looked like the scorpion. We ventured into Presidio, which is basically the nearest town. It's like 8 miles away, but we haven't eaten since like late lunch yesterday.
We only had one meal yesterday, and then this is gonna be our first for today. I am so hungry.
We're gonna head in, get some food, and probably discuss what we're gonna do for the rest of the day. We're kicking around some ideas of like, do we drive to the state park? Maybe do we just hang around here, get some provisions that we want at the house for the next day, and then go back to the house. We're gonna have a dinner at the house.
I want to walk this little area.
And we might walk up and down right here while we're parked here. We're gonna go grab some food, probably some very authentic Mexican food right here. This looks good. Presidio, Texas is right on the border with Mexico, and it's neighboring the Mexican city of Ojinaga, or OJ, according to the locals on both sides of the border. We explored the town of Presidio, Chelsea did some window shopping, and we ran into Lowe's Market, which is the staple grocery store of West Texas, to grab a couple of things before we headed back to the house. We have a special dinner on tap for tonight. Lauren and Charlie, the owners of Rio Bravo Ranch, have set us up with their friend Iris. She's originally from OJ, but they live in Presidio now, and she hosts parties and big events on both sides of the border. We're told she's an excellent chef, and this evening we'll be treated to her authentic Mexican food right here at the ranch.
Every night at dinner, Josh and I like to take a second while we sit down together at the end of the day before we start debriefing the day and recapping everything, and we spend just a couple of seconds before we dig in and say what we're thankful for. It can be the smallest things that happen throughout the day or some of the biggest, and it's a tradition that we started a long time ago, and it's one of the ones I am most grateful for. It's very uplifting and very sweet, and I'm glad that we do it every night at dinner.
Over this amazing Mexican dinner, we were lost in conversation, and we mentioned to Iris we haven't been across the border here. So she extended an invite to drive us across and show us around her hometown.
This is like secondary and the last couple of questions.
One of the first things we saw on this colorful side of the border is a large group of people on the side of the road praying for rain.
Humildad y urgencia, levantamos nuestro clamor a ti, para que concedas a nuestros campos y ciudades la lluvia necesaria para poder simplemente vivir.
For being just a mile from Presidio, this place feels so different. Part of it has to do with the size. Presidio has about 3,000 people, whereas Ojinaga has about 28,000 people. On top of that, the culture is very vibrant and very alive. We capped the night off at a little corner bar where Iris bought us a round of 400 conejos, or 400 rabbits. I'd never had a mezcal before, but I think this is my new favorite sipping beverage. Flashback to 2019 when my buddy Miles and I visited the High West Distillery in Utah. High West's Campfire is my favorite whiskey, and this mezcal is like a blend between that very smoky whiskey and a rich tequila. A very immersive shot to end the night with.
So we're getting ready to head out for our last day. It's also a bonus day.
It kind of is a bonus day.
Because we were supposed to leave, this morning. First thing this morning.
We were supposed to leave first thing this morning. We ended up going into Mexico last night with Iris and her daughter Marina, and that was kind of a last second idea kind of thing. Iris just casually invited us, said, well, if y'all want to go into Mexico, let me know. She goes over there several times a day, so I felt really bad because they wanted to show us all the local food and have some Mexican beer and all that kind of stuff, and we did. We had eaten not long before we went down there, so we weren't tremendously hungry down there. I felt like I was insulting the people around us because we weren't eating very much.
Because it looked like we just were turning our nose up at all of the food. They ordered one of everything at this little taco stand.
And we were
they were like, oh, we're gonna hit this taco stand, and then we're gonna hit this one, and we're gonna go through these drive-thrus.
I couldn't imagine eating another bite. I was full, the beer was filling me up, and on top of that, we were just tired. It was kind of a last minute thing. We still need to go film in the state park, which was on my list for wanting to do here, because I've never been in Big Bend State Park before.
We've been to the national park, but never the state park.
Yeah, they're two similar area, but totally separate, and they look very different.
And from where we're staying, we can see the state park.
It's right there.
So we're gonna venture in. It's on the list.
Yeah. So we need to do that, and then after we're done, we're gonna probably just film in there for maybe 4 hours or so. We have the Jeep with us. We might as well. We're gonna drive around and maybe do a little bit of walking, but not too far off the driving trails. Just it's pretty hot. It's a little warm for a long hike, so we're probably just gonna do a bunch of driving, put it in 4-wheel drive and do a bunch of driving around. The state park is supposedly awesome for that. After we're done with that, we're gonna figure out just a bite to eat and really just come back to the house and wind down, pack. I'm gonna offload all the cards from the cameras and everything, make sure footage is organized, cards are formatted.
Most of the time when we travel like this, we don't get a down day at all. And this was the most beautiful location to have a down day. Even though we went to Mexico last night, yesterday was a full down day. And just enjoying this house and cooking in this beautiful kitchen And then sitting out on the patio, it's just been so nice, such a treat.
That's been my favorite part, is sitting out on the patio, both in the mornings.
Especially, in the morning.
Mornings with our coffee, and then in the evenings, just sitting out there, pitch black, beautiful stars out here.
We've seen a bunch of shooting stars.
Yeah, a lot of satellites and everything, and of course the time lapses, taking those at night and stuff. I love doing that. So,
all right, well, we're burning daylight and it's just getting hotter, so let's go to the park.
Yep, we're gonna hop in the Jeep and we gotta go about a mile that way to get our park pass at Fort Leaton, and then we're gonna drive about a mile that way to, I guess, the first dirt road that goes into the state park. We'll have our pass, we'll be good to go. We'll just go drive around.
We got our waters and our Topo Chicos for the road. They're ice cold right now, so it'll be good.
It'll be good. Welcome to Big Bend Ranch State Park. This entire area was a working cattle ranch until 1988 when the state bought the land. And now it's a 300,000 acre oasis in the northern Chihuahuan Desert, preserved to admire and enjoy for generations to come. We really need to dedicate an entire trip to this park, especially because there's a 5,500 foot long dirt airstrip right in the middle that we could fly straight into. Texas Parks and Wildlife has a PDF on their website all about the procedures for flying in. Big Bend Ranch has so much more to offer than we're able to see today, and in hindsight, we really should have come out here earlier in the trip. But we'll just have to bring our camping gear and take advantage of that dirt runway next time. This is gonna join up with another creek. I think maybe, we'll see what it looks like, but we might be able to backtrack up that creek like a few hundred feet, and there might be a little trail that snakes up onto the basin to join that road. We followed a track on the map marked as a dirt road, but it turns out it was a creek bed to nowhere. So we backtracked all the way back to the main park road and came back out the way we came in. That attempted shortcut cost us about an hour and a half, but it was an adventure nonetheless. Well, we've wrapped up 3 full days here at the Rio Bravo Ranch just outside of Presidio, Texas. I think the conception that a lot of people have about this area is that it's kind of a no man's land. There's not much out here. There's a lot of ranches, a lot of rolling hills. You of course have the Rio Grande, and then the hills and the mountains leading into Mexico. There's a lot of state park amenities along the way. You come across a lot of campgrounds along the river and everything. But for the most part, it's pretty quiet out this way. You know, Presidio is kind of a sleepy little town, but it has a big grocery store right there, everything you need. We ended up heading across the border into, everybody around here calls it OJ. I think it's Ojinaga with Iris. So she extended the invite for us to tag along with her and her daughter Marina and just hang out, show us around their town and everything. And it was really awesome to see that side of the culture and see the difference between the Texas side and the Mexico side. So that was a really cool cherry on top that we didn't really expect to experience while we were here. And then today we sort of topped everything off with going into Big Bend Ranch State Park. Did a lot of off-roading. Actually did a little more off-roading than we intended to do today. We took one wrong turn. That was a labeled road on the map, and long story short, it dead-ended, but the map said it continued. And we had to backtrack, ended up in a creek bed, had to traverse that for a little bit, and then make it back to the main road. This is a great 3-day stay here. So we're gonna fly out early tomorrow morning, drive back to Lajitas, drop the Jeep off, and head on out on our next adventure. But this has been a truly magical, relaxing time here at Rio Bravo Ranch. We packed up, loaded the Jeep, and left Rio Bravo Ranch behind us as we made the breathtaking sunrise drive across the southern edge of Big Bend Ranch State Park back to Lajitas to prepare for our departure.
We stopped in the town of Lajitas to top off the Jeep with fuel, and I ran inside to get us a couple of breakfast burritos. When I came back out, Chels was nowhere to be found. Ah, she found something to pet.
There's your steed.
Mm-hmm. It's our ride.
The 2 times we've been here to visit have both been so unique, very different from each other. I loved the accommodations at both, and I would recommend both places to anyone who is interested in coming to this area. Staying at the domes, we went out and did a lot more in Terlingua, which was a really, really cool town, and so that was very enjoyable. There was more to eat in that town, so a lot more options. But when we were here the first time, we did the drive past the house towards Presidio that we ended up staying at, the Rio Bravo Ranch that we stayed at this time. One of the things I loved so much about this trip is that we actually had a down day, like a full down day at the house. We never build in down days, and I think that should be a new priority whenever we're traveling. Also, the accommodations were just so enjoyable, sitting out on the porch every morning and every evening with either coffee or tea. I think that was probably the best part, and the house was just so nice and so clean. I think that was the cleanest Airbnb I've ever stayed in, and we've stayed in them all over the country. Everything was very well put together, well thought out, very immersive. It wasn't just like a cookie cutter Airbnb. Rio Bravo Ranch, I would recommend to anyone. The drive from the Lajitas airport to the Rio Bravo Ranch is a world-class drive through Big Bend, and I hope that we come back very soon.
Zero 50 at 9 knots. Wind variable between 340 and 80. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 29 Celsius. Dew point 19 Celsius. Altimeter 2995 inches of mercury. Remarks. Density altitude 510.
5,100 feet. We got plenty of runway though. Altimeter set and cross-checked, you got it, 2995. All right, fuel totalizer, let's reset that. Transponder, squawking VFR, ADS-B Sirius XM is connected. Radios test, sounded like they were working, and lights on. And we'll check the attitude indicator and heading indicator. Turn coordinator on taxi. Pre-taxi checklist complete.
The weather actually looks pretty good for the route. I was thinking we might go IFR today, but going into Dallas Love, which is our destination for today, I would rather not go IFR if we can avoid it, because doing an arrival into the DFW area is going to take us quite a bit further out of our way, to the point that we will actually be cutting into what would be our IFR reserves if we were on an IFR flight plan. That's me conservatively speaking. I think we would be totally fine, and we'll look at it before we hop in the plane here in just a few minutes. We're going to go over weather one more time, make sure that the forecasts are indeed still showing VFR the whole route. We're going east, so according to the hemispherical rule, we'll be above 3,000 AGL, so we'll go up to 11,500 feet. Try to maximize our tailwind in the forecast. Leave it at full throttle and lean it for lean of peak. Get those CHTs down, get our fuel burn way down, and just really bring it back to an economy cruise. So,
parking brake released, and lights as required.
Yep.
Pre-takeoff checklist complete. All right, you ready?
I am ready.
Lajitas traffic, Skyhawk 80991 is back taxiing runway 07. That will be a departure out to the northeast, Lajitas. Yeah, if we started the takeoff right there, we'd be leaving like 600 or 700 feet of good runway behind us. Lajitas traffic, Skyhawk 80991 departing runway 7, VFR departure to the northeast, Lajitas.
Seatbelts, windows, doors.
I'm ready.
Takeoff power set. Everything's in the green. Making rated power, airspeed's alive. There's 50 and there's 1,000 footers. I'm gonna encourage. Lower the nose. Whew. It is hot.
Yep. A little bit high density altitude. About 5,200 feet.
We're climbing at about 200 feet a minute right now.
Well, we got room. There's Terlingua. We're looking right down the Terlingua Ranch runway.
Oh yeah.
It's carbon monoxide. 0 ppm. Probably just spiked for a second. Did you fart?
No.
Set off the CO detector. You're on Amazon up here?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I need to see if my package just got delivered. It's parts to work on your damn plane, so I don't want to hear it.
Houston Center, Skyhawk, November 80 at 90901, 11,500.
Number 80-901, Houston Center, welcome Carroll County altimeter 3001.
3001, we're leveling off now, 80901.
We're on VFR flight following direct to not San Marcos, but Dallas Love Field. We're going to bring November 80991 to Kentucky for a couple of weeks for Chels to do some maintenance and upgrades on it. But first, we're stopping in Dallas so Chelsea can catch a commercial flight to Kentucky. Then I'll meet up and fly with Justin from the Pilot to Pilot podcast up to the Garmin headquarters in Kansas. That will all be in its own upcoming content here on Aviation 101, and that's why our course is set for North Texas. However, the cloud coverage is not shaping up as forecasted.
Dallas Love, wind 110 at 5, ceiling 17,000, visibility 10. Temperature is 75, dew point 70, altimeter 2909, 8 density, altitude 1,900 feet. A lot of clouds. These should be over with when we're about halfway there. They'll start to break up.
It's a lot of clouds indeed. And while we are VFR, I don't recommend flying over a solid layer like this without being instrument rated and IFR equipped. If need be, we could pick up an airborne IFR clearance to get down through the layer. But hopefully the clouds will thin out in time for us to start our VFR descent into Dallas. Keyword there is hopefully. There's another weather issue. Dallas has been getting slammed nearly every day with severe afternoon thunderstorms, and today is no different.
Well, as we move on, if it looks like there's going to be weather preventing us from getting into Dallas Love for a bit, we could divert to Stephenville and land there and go get barbecue.
Southwest 1729, just got stopped for Love, clear 2 deep, hold as published, descend to maintain flight level 230.
Alright, direct deep, hold as published, 230, Southwest 25, or 1729.
Southwest 1729, you can expect further clearance, 1900.
1900, Southwest 1729.
It's decision time.
Yeah, where do you want to divert to?
I think maybe Stephenville.
Where is that?
ASCP. But I gotta ask for an IFR.
Okay.
Is this all fine with you?
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting into Dallas. That stuff's probably going to be there for the remainder of the afternoon.
Really?
And then we'll have to do an evening flight into
1907250.
Not at night, but forward center, Skyhawk 80 at 90901 request.
90901, go ahead with your request.
80-90901, looking at the ceilings up ahead, descending into Love. We might need to put an IFR on request with you if that's possible.
Alright, 90901, right now they're not taking any Love in right now.
90901, roger. Well, we may need to divert before we get there then, just in case that weather doesn't get out of the way, so we'll let you know if we need to pick up an IFR. It looks like the ceiling kind of closed off up here.
Roger.
So they're not allowing anyone to land right now?
I guess they're not taking anybody in. Like they closed up the flow.
Alpha Bravo, VFR altitude, or your discretion.
Forward center, Skyhawk 80 at 90901. I think we are going to go ahead and make the decision to divert, probably into Stephenville down here, if we can pick up an IFR to get down through this layer.
Nar 80 90901, roger, Clear to the Stephenville Airport via direct. Descend and maintain 6,000 regional altimeter, or Stephenville altimeter 3005.
All right, 3005 clear to Stephenville direct down to 6,000, 80991, thanks.
All right, major change of plans.
Center American 1276, do you need a certain speed from us?
It's fine.
And publish to Boov, American 1276. American 9793. And,
all right, see tracks and backs up right and locked. Seatbelt shuttle harnesses are fastened.
And just pick up the speeds at
Fuel
dark.
selectors on both. Carb heat, do you want to test
You don't
it?
need to worry about the expedite.
Alright, we'll descend via the Boov arrival, direct Boov.
All right, ATIS, Stephenville, frequency.
American 2484, and you're clear to the DFW airport via direct Ninja and the Stock 4 arrival. American 1276, contact regional approach 119
Clark Field Municipal Airport.
1987.
Automated weather observation. 1810 Zulu. Weather. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Ceiling 3,200. Broken 4,100. Overcast. Temperature 27 Celsius. Dew point 20. Altimeter 3004. Remarks. Density altitude 2,900.
Visibility 10, 3,400. We'll break out.
Center 80991, how's the weather at Stephenville? We'll be looking for the visual.
Sorry, 80991, roger. Descend and maintain 4,000 and report Stephenville Airport in sight. And you said you had the weather NOTAM?
We do have the weather down to 4,000, 80991, we'll let you know when we see it.
4,000 is going to get us down to like 2,700 feet, which will be perfect. That should be 500 feet below the layer. Top 6,100.
Set Fort Worth, Star Station 608 Bravo Charlie, pick up IFR Gallup.
So those 1904 forward center, descend and maintain ball 220.
8 Bravo Charlie, 3637 and
1,000 to go.
3,000.
Hopefully we'll break out soon.
Squawk is 3627, 8 Bravo Charlie.
Oh, sorry about that, 3627.
Starting to see the ground.
Niner 1, you got the airport in sight?
Just about. We're starting to come out of the bottoms here. Probably at 4,000. We'll have a good side of it. We'll let you know.
Roger.
Center, good day, citation and Center Whiskey. Would you 260 for flight level 2?
So 4,000 is the lowest he's able to vector us, I believe, out here. But if we tell him we have the airport in sight, if he can clear us for the visual, once we're cleared for the visual, we can go down even further. Airport in sight. The runway is perpendicular to it.
Got Stephenville in sight, 80991.
80991, you said the airport in sight?
Yeah, airport in sight, and we're well below the layer now. We can go ahead and cancel.
80991, roger. IFR cancel AC, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, good day.
Alright, VFR to advisory, thanks for the help, 991.
NR8 Bravo Charlie, just want to verify, cleared as the Gallup.
Alright, pattern altitude, or field elevation is 1,300, and it is left traffic for 14. So just let me know whenever you want the pre-landing checklist.
I'm good for it whenever. I'm going to meander out.
Stephenville traffic, Bonanza 1094 Whiskey, about 10 miles to the northeast, inbound for runway 14, Stephenville.
Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991, Cessna 172, crossing over midfield now from west to east. We are at 3,800 descending. We're going to maneuver to the east of the field and join the left downwind 14. Full stop, Stephenville. We'll be looking out for that Bonanza.
Traffic Stephenville, what are you seeing the ceiling at over there if you're at 3,800?
We were just IFR and we popped out probably about 4,200.
Thank you.
Stephenville traffic, Cessna 80991 is about half a mile to the east of the field. We're going to proceed eastbound, level off here at 3,000. We will, we'll give the Bonanza some space. We'll cut in behind you.
1094 Whiskey, thank you. We're about 5.5 miles out right now.
Roger that. We see you on ADSB. We're looking for you.
I don't see this oh, I see him.
Yeah, we just saw him at the same time.
Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991, 3,000 feet, about 3 miles to the southeast of the field. Maneuvering tenor of 45, left downwind, runway 14 will be a full stop. Stephenville, we're going to cut in behind the Bonanza.
Went from sunny Big Bend to overcast North Texas.
All right, brakes, pedal test, lights.
Yep. Yep.
Barrel minimums, we don't need them. Autopilot and flight director are off. Autopilot, or mixture, set best power.
Yeah.
Car repeat.
Yep.
Fuel selector on both.
Confirmed.
VREF is 60 knots. Pre-landing checklist complete. Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991, turning at left downwind 14, full stop, Stephenville.
Alright, I got them landing.
Okay, that is that Bonanza.
Stephenville traffic, Bonanza 1094, whiskey clear 14, Stephenville.
1002, 1003.
I heard a little kid talking. Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991, turning left base 14, full stop, Stephenville.
Looking down final.
500.
Cleveland traffic, Warrior 8786 Charlie. Base for 15, Cleveland traffic.
They must have gotten some real flooding around here. Jeez.
Got ready for a go around. Golly. Use the whole freaking runway. Well, that was a terrible landing.
It was on the mains. Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991 is clear of runway 14, Stephenville.
It's been a long time since I've been here, and honestly, this isn't a bad place to divert and be stuck for a little bit. If you land in Stephenville, Texas, you can call Hard 8 Barbecue, which is right across the highway, and they'll actually send an employee to come pick you up. It's honestly not that far of a walk either, but we'll save the walking for the return trip to the airport. Besides, we'll need a nice calming walk for what's about to happen. One slice of wheat bread. We have spicy and regular barbecue sauce, a big fat slice of brisket. This is Chelsea's baked potato that's loaded with brisket and some other things in there. These are 2 bacon and jalapeno wrapped pieces of shrimp, 3 pork ribs, and 1 bacon and jalapeno wrapped piece of chicken.
And?
Big bag of okra. All right, we finished eating and put 15 gallons in the airplane. We have a little bit of a ceiling kind of heading toward Dallas. It's like wavering around 3,000 AGL. So I just went ahead and filed. I filed for the need transition to the Swavey for arrival into Dallas Love. Who knows what ATC will want us to do. They might just totally nix the arrival and just start vectoring us. I don't know. But I figured it would be easier to go in IFR instead of the ceiling creeping down on us and then we get caught in a situation where we're like, oh, we should have filed. But Stephenville seems pretty busy. There's a Cirrus taxiing in there, a Bonanza about to depart.
We got fuel, but we didn't top off so that we can waive the fee at Dallas. So we'll get fuel there.
Yeah, there's going to be like a parking fee or a facility fee and all that kind of stuff, but we are going to take on fuel. But if we would have topped off here, I think we would only be landing with like 7 gallons of empty space.
And normally it's a 10-gallon minimum.
I'm guessing, yeah, that it's a 10-gallon, minimum of 10 gallons to waive the fee and everything. So if you really do the math, it probably ultimately doesn't matter if we just filled up here or whatever. But if we're going to take on close to 10 gallons there anyways for my next trip, might as well go ahead and make it 10 gallons to waive the facility fee or the overnight fee. So we're going to hop in the plane. She's going to do a pre-flight real quick, strain the tanks and everything, and we're going to get ready to take off out of Stephenville, Texas to Dallas Love Field, IFR this time.
Yep.
And throttle friction lock adjust. Run up checklist complete, pre-takeoff checklist, flaps set 0 degrees. Mixture set best power.
Right.
Car repeat off. Transponder squawk at VFR. Heading bug set runway heading. Perfect. And doors and windows closed and latched. Time note. It's 2040 Zulu. And the abort plan, probably that first taxiway, we should be getting light. We'll keep an eye on it. Loved ones notify. We're going to Dallas Love. Parking brake released and lights as required. Pre-takeoff checklist complete. Lights are on. You ready?
Ready.
Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991 is departing runway 14. We're going to be a left-hand turnout to the northeast. Stephenville.
Seatbelts, windows, doors, mixture mags, lights.
We'll call Fort Worth on the climb.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Alright. Takeoff power set. We're making rated. Everything's in the green. There's 40. There's 50. Lower the nose. Let it accelerate. Ooh, Watch this bird. Watch this bird. Oh, fuck. You want to go back around?
Let's go back around and land. Watch these birds. Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80901 is on the upwind, runway 14. We're going to make left traffic, come back around our land. We just had a bird strike. Y'all coming in, use caution. There are birds right over the runway.
Stephenville traffic, Sears 323 Whiskey. We are on final about 3 miles till Stephenville traffic.
Doesn't look like it damaged anything, but
No, let's check though.
there's definitely a little blood on the windshield there.
I don't think that one's gonna make it.
Might be concussed.
Well, that was my first bird strike.
I've had a bat strike, but not a bird strike. Yeah, we kind of started to go right, and it like twitched and fiddled and went to our right as we were doing the same thing.
I know,
Stephenville traffic,
normally you don't want to go down below them
We're
because
going to
they
go
will
mid for you.
dive.
You guys have priority on the runway,
Oh,
Stephenville.
oh my goodness.
Oh, we're good. We're just now on the downwind. I don't think there's any damage or anything, but we're just going to shut it down and get eyes on it. It hit the windshield here, but it just looks like it's just some blood. That's it.
All right, sounds good. We're still going to shoot the mist, but hope everything's okay.
All right, appreciate that. Yeah, we'll just come in for a full stop.
Do you see them?
Yeah, they're like over the numbers now.
Oh, yeah.
Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80901 turning left base runway 14, full stop, Stephenville.
Stephenville traffic, Sears 322 Whiskey. We're going to be doing the mist at Hovier, so we're departing to the southeast, Stephenville.
Alright, nobody on final?
I'm glad we were going slow in the climb off the
500.
runway and not going 120 indicated.
Yeah, that would have come through.
Yeah, we were going about half the speed.
Do you see the bird?
No.
Is that it? There's a wing or something.
That is it. That's the bird. That was a dead bird. I should probably go get that off the runway.
Yeah. That was a smaller one than what it felt like when it was inches from my face.
Yeah, we both ducked. Never know if that thing's gonna come through the windshield.
Yeah.
Chels stopped on the taxiway and let me out so I could remove the bird from the runway so it won't be a hazard to other aircraft. If this were an air traffic controlled field, I obviously wouldn't be doing this, but no other traffic coming in, I'm watching. Here's what we just hit. Sorry, buddy. This is an unfortunate risk during takeoffs and landings, or just flying at lower altitudes in general. And I'm glad this heron didn't come through the windshield into our faces. That would have been a very different outcome. Doesn't look like it hit anywhere else, but you can definitely see, hard to see with the reflection. The camera is not doing it justice, but some marks right there, some marks right there. I just cleaned the windshield right before we took off, so those are fresh. You can see these are feet, and that is the body right there, and it just tumbled over the top. And I think we gravely injured that bird. Well, we'll clean it off and we'll try again.
This bird, just a little bit of a mess to clean up. We are climbing out, and normally when you're going towards birds, you don't want to try to duck under them because their defense, if something is going to hit them, they tuck and kind of roll. So you don't want to go down because they're probably going to go down, not up. But we were already in a climb out and we were already slow, so I didn't want to pull up even higher, like into a stall configuration.
We were in the climb, she kind of turned to the right, but the bird decided to also go to our right. So it was just kind of like, we were just like, and then thump. If we were going like cruise speed, that could have cracked the windshield or come through the windshield if it hit it just right. But it hit it kind of right on that curve on the corner, and it's actually really stout right there. It's pretty strong on the windshield right there. So all it did was make a thud and startled us, and of course killed the bird. So poor bird, but should have announced on CTAF.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, takeoff power is set. Everything's in the green. There's 50.
Stephenville traffic, Skyhawk 80991, just departed runway 14, we're making our left turn out, departing the area to the east, VFR, Stephenville.
Cleveland traffic, Skyhawk 4877 Delta, turn left crosswind, depart to the east, Cleveland.
Fort Worth Center, Skyhawk November 80991, just departed Stephenville, IFR to Dallas Love.
November 80991, Fort Worth Center, squawk 5105.
5105, 80991.
United 1071, clear direct move.
President direct move, United 1071.
0991, radar contact about 4 miles southeast of the Stephenville Airport, regional altimeter 2994, say altitude.
2994, passing 2,500 now, 80991.
November 80991, roger, you cleared Dallas Love Airport via asphalt, climb maintain 5,000.
Clear to Dallas Love as filed up to 5,000, 80991.
United 1071, descend via the booth 6
Alright,
arrival.
as filed,
Contact
we
regional
filed
approach
need
on
this way before arrival, so we're direct need.
1987, descend via the booth 6 RNF arrival, United 1071, good day.
Alright, up to 5, there are no real speed altitude restrictions for us, rather.
I was gonna say speed, we ain't gonna hit any of those.
That's because I just read props exempt from speed restriction. Yeah, so we're direct need. So we fly to dry.
Envoy 3772,
Scots.
resume published speeds, move and beyond.
And then to Swavey.
Move and beyond, Envoy 3772.
Envoy 3546, descend via the booth 6 arrival, comply with the speeds on the arrival, regional altimeter 2994.
Via the booth 6, comply with the speeds 2994, Envoy 3546.
And flight 7111, descend and maintain 1313,000, regional altimeter 2994.
Just to maintain 13,000, 2994, and flight 7111.
We are IFR, so we don't need to worry about hearing the words cleared into the Bravo airspace. It is implied. We are talking to air traffic control on an IFR flight plan. Autopilot is so nice.
Agreed.
November 80991, contact regional approach in 13597.
35907, 80991.
D1 regional approach, thank you. Fun on the visual approach, runway 16.
Regional approach, Skyhawk 80991, 5,000, direct need.
Skyhawk 80991, regional approach, thanks. Golf current at Dallas Love.
We'll get golf, 991.
American 2517 is to maintain 3,000. Number 689, if you'd like, you can climb to 4,500 now.
1,800, ceiling 6,500, road
Number 5, Bravo Charlie, turn left, heading at 060, that's the vector for the sequence.
Temperature 24, 2.21, altimeter 2995.
You want my following that right now?
AO2, sea level pressure 135. Occasional lighting in clouds. Clouds are ground. Cumulonimbus in the distance northeast, keeps moving east. Towering cumulus southwest 6010658015.
Clear check 427, traffic 11 o'clock, 2 miles southbound, 2,800 indicated south.
Runway 13, right in use.
Alright, they are landing 13 left and right.
17 till 12 o'clock at about 12 miles.
13 left would be wonderful.
American 2517 at 3,000.
Not the end of the world if we get 13 right. We'll just be a little Cessna taxi in front of the passenger terminal.
Clear check 618, traffic set your 1 o'clock, 4 miles maneuvering, 6,600 indicated top and on. Mindy altitude maintain 6,000.
Maintain 6,000, negative contact, we're looking for that traffic, clear check 618.
991, contact approach on 125.2.
25.2, 991, good day.
Yeah.
Regional approach, Skyhawk 80991, 5,000. We have golf at Dallas Love.
80991 approach, roger, flight present heading.
Present heading, 991.
Alright, present heading. So, sync and heading. That can be kind of a confusing radio call, but that means...
If you go fast, you'll be first. If not, you're going to go due east for a long time.
Maintain this heading until further notice.
439, appreciate that, head 100, and you looking for left side?
Now we've got the autopilot in heading mode.
3790, approach a low, moderate to heavy precip ahead. I was told it looks good once you get to 6 and below. Just going to maintain 5,000, let me know if you need something.
3790, 5,000, okay, keep me posted.
November 991 traffic, 12 o'clock and 4 miles, maneuvering 6,300 indicated. Looks like they are descending slowly. I believe it's a Seminole.
Looking for the traffic, 991.
Tell you what, 991, turn left heading 020. I'll get you into the Bravo away from them.
020 on the heading, 991.
10 Papa, you're outside the Bravo airspace. Contact Fort Worth Center 126.72.
126.72, 910 Papa.
Alright, we're going to keep the arrival in the flight plan. We're not going to like load or activate an approach of any kind or anything like that yet. We have not been told what to expect.
Southwest 3790, you got a runway prep if you want to pass along.
Right side.
Roger. November 991 traffic, no factor, flighting 060.
060 on the heading, 991.
9290, send the sheriff.
November 991, descend to maintain 4,000.
Down to 4,000, 80991.
A minimum of 500 feet per minute is what they expect.
November 70 Alpha, contact approach 13597.
13597, 70 Alpha, good day.
Hey, November 991, turn left 040.
040, 991.
And for 991, which runway you hoping for? I'll pass it along.
We're going to Business Jet Center, so I believe that'll be the left.
Alright, I'll check to verify.
Oh, nice.
Yep, 13 left is the closest. So I'll tell the next guy you're looking for that, and he'll give you what he can.
Sweet, appreciate that, thanks.
Yeah, that was nice. Bravo controllers rock.
I love this autopilot.
Yeah, it makes it really nice, and you can
November
just
Charlie Tango, proceed
pay
direct
attention to
midway.
everything else.
Direct midway, 8 Charlie Tango.
Approach 80991, field in sight whenever it helps.
Roger.
Alright, so we have the visual approach loaded in there, so when he says clear for the visual, you can hit procedure, activate approach.
Seahawk 991, descend to maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, 991.
Descent checklist. Seat tracks and backs upright and locked. Seat belt shoulder harnesses are fastened. Fuel selector on both. Repeat, you want to test it?
This is 750, turn left heading 180.
180, we have 11 size, 750.
Roger.
Latest, we have golf. We're told to expect 13 left.
This is 750, you're cleared.
Instruments calibrated to cross-check.
Contact left tower 123.7.
Push approach 13 left to the tower, 750.
We're set 3,000, barrel minimum set, verify we don't need it, and mixture as enriching. Descent checklist complete. Ready on the pre-landing. Right now it looks like he's got 3 in the sequence.
Approach Alpha 1673, 4,500 for 4,000.
2 in the sequence.
Yeah, 991, cleared visual approach, and 13 left.
Clear for the visual 13 left, 80991.
Alright, you are now free to maneuver as necessary.
And which Southwest is checking off?
Southwest 1673, leveling 4,000.
Southwest 1673, regional approach, expect runway 13 left.
Alright, see that jet touching down?
Yeah.
They're on 13 right.
Yeah.
991, contact left tower 123.7.
23.7, good day, 991. Left tower, Skyhawk 80991, visual 13 left.
Skyhawk 80991, good afternoon, left tower, your number 2, following the Challenger and a 1 mile final, crossway turbulence, clear to land, 13 left, wind 090 at 6.
Copy the wind, clear to land, 13 left, number 2, we have the Challenger inside, 991.
Pre-landing checklist, seatbelt, shoulder harnesses are fastened. Taxi light on, landing light on. Aero minimums verified, autopilot is off. Flight director if you want to kill it. Mixture, set best power. We're coming down pretty low, so.
Southwest 1136, thanks for your help, contact regional.
Repeat as you need it, it's on, fuel selector on both. Flaps waiting on 85 knots and VREF is going to be 60 over the numbers. Pre-landing checklist complete. Alright, I don't see anybody else coming in on the approach, so.
750, thanks for your help out there, turn left to Alpha 2, which terminal are you headed to?
Left to Alpha 2, going to SIC 1, please, etc. 750.
Perfect, Alpha 2 Alpha, have a great day.
Alpha to Alpha, have a great day, etc. 750.
Southwest 498 tower, you guys ready?
498, ready to go.
Fantastic, Southwest 498, RNAV, door set, runway 13 right, clear for takeoff, wind 090 at 8.
RNAV to door set, clear for takeoff, 13 right, Southwest 498.
Wind 090 at 9.
Minimums.
Airshow 337 tower, need 13 left, line up and wait.
13 left, line up and wait, Airshow 337.
Slow tower, Southwest 1673, visual for 13 left.
Yeah, 1673, good afternoon, tower, need 13 left, continue, traffic holding in position, Phenom.
Continue, Southwest 1673.
Beautiful.
Southwest Sun 991, welcome to left, stay parking.
This is Jess.
Alpha 3, Alpha to park, monitor ground, take care.
All right, Alpha 3, Alpha to park, monitor ground, 991. Thanks for the help.
All right, we'll hang a left on Alpha.
0337, runway 13 left, clear for takeoff, wind 0909, traffic 4 out.
Okay,
We're monitoring ground. Welcome to Lev.
Oh my gosh.
It's easy getting in here.
Yeah.
All right, this is a towered field. We do not need to cancel our IFR. We are going to Business Jet Center.
This is hilarious when we come into these big ass airports in a 172.
I know. With our 36-foot wingspan.
Welcome to Dallas Love Field, where Chelsea and I will part ways for now, and I'm going to take a hotel day to empty all the SD cards from the last few flights, charge the batteries, and prepare for the next leg of this long trip. Justin from the Pilot to Pilot podcast is going to take Chelsea's seat in 80991. And because we are both Garmin ambassadors, we're heading up to Kansas to visit Garmin headquarters. But we're going to run into our fair share of challenges trying to get up there in the first place. That will be in the upcoming content here on Aviation 101.
There's a push and there's a pull. There's a new moon and then it's full.
Chelsea and I have been really busy the last few months between adjusting to a new living situation and trying to keep up with work. It's been stressful, but taking a step back and a deep breath from the world as you know it is essential in maintaining your momentum.
Wish I had a mountain top to see the rhythm of it all. Every spring leads to a fall. There's a heart in every home. The young will always wish that they were older. And there's a rhythm to it all.
This was our deep breath. Our careers mix passion, work, and play. The lines between those are entirely blurred, and that sometimes makes it hard to stay motivated to work hard or to be actively present in the moment that I'm living right now. As a filmmaker, this work is fueled by creativity, but after a while that creativity can dry up. It becomes stale. Then productivity falls off, that creates more stress. It's a vicious cycle. Step away, go see something new, and breathe it in. There you'll find inspiration for your next big endeavor.
What is new will be forgotten, and there's a use for the broken things you've lost. If you hold it loose, you'll find that there is room for the rhythm of it all.
Until then, you know the drill. I want you to stay happy and healthy, stay current in your flying, and most importantly, stay proficient. This is Josh and Chels signing off from this original Aviation 101 production. Fly safe.
To see the rhythm of it all. To see the rhythm of it all.